He's just like, well, look who's still alive. Little Amy Winehouse died. It's like, why are you talking like that? Like, even if this is like true, like
his handle is the
weird.
fittest flat earther.
He kind of comes across as a douche. It's Thursday. Mailbag Thursday. The last mailbag Thursday. I'm just going to say that every day this week.
Yeah. I didn't have time to shower. So I put this hat on because my hair was all fucking not looking like I wanted it to. I feel like Tim Pool. Except I'm not ashamed of my balding.
Or did you go bald last night?
Or did I go bald? Yeah. I'm not doing a bit. This is not an homage to Tim Pool.
You do be wearing that hat for that reason, though. A lot of bald guys wear hats.
I just think the beanie is the funny choice.
It is.
You could wear a cowboy hat and I would have less questions.
Yeah.
Because, like, does he just turn the AC down? Does he, like, make the room colder? This isn't comfortable inside.
Right.
Unless it's very cold.
You're right. That's a good point.
Because, like, I have a lot of hair when it grows out. It's pretty warm.
The beanie he does look, well, I don't know if he looks good in the beanie or if it's just because I've never seen him other than in still frame photos outside of the beanie. It is an interesting choice. You think you would switch it up too, maybe?
Yeah, throw a baseball cap on. I get like maybe a baseball cap when you're filming because it can kind of block your face, but I don't know. You're just doing
That's
a
probably
podcast,
it.
So
that's probably it.
He has to wear a hat, but it can't have a brim. You could wear like one of those newsboy caps. That'd be good.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not good unless you're an old man.
I mean, he seems like he could be some kind of hipster.
I think you nailed it. I think skateboarding and I can't believe we're talking about Tim Pool. Skateboarding and podcasting. The beanie is it's kind of like the wig of hats.
That's true.
It's non-intrusive. You're right, though. But see, your head's getting warm because you have hair.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess maybe there's a functionality. Let's get into these videos.
Okay.
Here on MK Ultra.
MKUSUAL.
Where am I? I'm on MKUSUAL. It's like MK Ultra, but more normal. This unintentionally had a theme, I think, and I'm just going to play them in order.
Let's go.
They're not necessarily, like, presented in a timeline. There's no chronology to the order I play them. But
you're just going to go, and then it has a theme.
I was drawing some connections in here.
Okay.
This one's I'm gonna save for last.
Like and subscribe.
This is the grand finale one. So I'll start here.
Well, let me silence this phone. All right. You're showing the grand finale right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was just the first one that's pulled up. Okay. So go.
Amy Winehouse, do you know her? Well, I've done a post on her and talking about how poor little Amy, who passed away, became someone else. But you know what? When I did it, I didn't have my smoking gun. So yeah, while I already did this video and provided some pretty good visuals that they are the same person, well, it was before I started looking for my smoking guns. And this is where this video takes an amazing turn. I had one of my very own followers, a lovely lady named Shirley, reach out to me and say, Tyler, look what I found. And well, here's Amy Winehouse. And here's Lady Gaga. I mean, does it get literally any more obvious than that? Come on. It's okay. You're going to be all right. You'll be okay. If you still can't figure this out and you're having cognitive dissonance, I promise you'll be okay. It passes. That uncomfortable feeling that you're feeling. that your whole world is flipping inside out, it's okay. You'll be all right. And Shirley didn't want any credit for this. I just found it so cool that my investigative skills are contagious. So, and of course all this is for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that's just a coincidence that they look so similar and have the same marks. And guys, it's not clones, for crying out loud. Entertainment only.
Oh, Amy Winehouse alive confirmed.
Another celebrity who is not dead.
So
his argument's a stretch here, but it did make me think. I have seen a lot of videos of, especially actors, who there are like two slightly different versions of the same. I can't think of any of their names.
Oh, right, I get what you're saying.
But it's just like,
I'm face blindish, so to me, a lot of people look the same.
Maybe that's what it is, but also I don't know. Clones.
I mean, they do look really similar. I never thought about them.
He doesn't talk about the timeline.
Were they ever...
Obviously, Lady Gaga would have a childhood, probably, that you could verify.
My first question would be if they ever performed together.
Yeah. I don't think so, because Lady Gaga was way later.
She became Lady Gaga later, but no, they never performed together. She was just going by her regular name before that.
They were both featured on the Tony Bennett
duet album.
So they were alive at the same time.
Well, yeah.
I guess, no. They wouldn't have to be. That could be posthumous.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, they're probably alive. I mean, Amy Winehouse died like... They were 100%. They're probably even like close to the same age.
Yeah.
Because let's see here, Amy Winehouse, she was born 1983 September, and Lady Gaga was born 86 March. So about 2.5 years apart. Hey, dude.
This is like
we continue our tradition that nobody is dead.
Yeah. Also, there's what's her... It's like Zena LaVey. It's Anton LaVey's daughter, the guy who founded the Church of Satan, I think.
Oh, and
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those pictures, they definitely look like... But see, then it's like... Maybe there's like archetypal types of humans.
I think that's probably true. Especially pretty humans.
Like, yeah.
There's only so many.
Right. Like, there's certain types of beauty, and these are just people who look closest to that. Or, I don't know. Let's move on, because also I hate that guy. He tried to wink, and he failed.
Can I just say one more thing about that guy real fast? He was so smug about this.
I know.
I wonder what. There might be lore behind it. Like maybe he has like huge haters or something, or he's just like,
yeah.
Oh, look who's still alive. Little Amy Winehouse died. It's like, why are you talking like that? Like even if this is like true, like
his handle is the
weird.
fittest flat earther.
He kind of comes across as a douche, which makes me sad because I hate when conspiracy people come across as douches. All right, well anyway, next. Lady Gaga's actually dead.
And we're gonna go to this one.
Oh no.
So, Doctor, when did you hear that scream?
Well, after a few hours had gone by and I had called Gary back, and he had calmed me down, crawling practically around the ceiling. We both went out to look again, and I figured, we went out and looked. We did the same thing. I opened the freezer so that I could know that I was not imagining this, and the same thing happened. And when the freezer was opened, this thing let out a scream like I have never heard before. It literally, the force of the sound made you feel like something was pushing against your chest.
The air around it as it screams actually bubbles and moves.
It felt like the air was moving.
God.
And at that time, it was just, open and closed. And later on, I felt like I had to try to document this.
Of course.
So I took my camera, and I took the recorder, and I turned it on, and I again opened the freezer, and that's when I recorded this sound.
Have you heard the sound?
No.
To me, it sounds like it's pretty horrific, but it's. I always think like it's doing like a homing beacon or something, because it sounds almost mechanical, but like just like a blood curdling machine scream kind of.
Is it like a scream where it's like, ah? And
Let me see if I can just find it. John Reed, it says. Then they do things where they do close-ups on this thing, and sometimes I think it looks like paper mache, and then other times I think it looks like really real.
I mean, if you've ever, like, mummies look like that.
Right.
The skin, like...
People kind of look like that if you don't
Cures
embalm them. Yeah. Well, I guess mummies are people. God damn it, I forgot that mummies were people.
Mummies are the fallen ones, Dennis. They're not people.
I want the screen.
I was gonna look for it, but I figured that should be something you discover right before you fall asleep one night.
That's true. I was gonna see if I can. Well, no, you're right. Maybe I'll just find it and play it tomorrow.
Well, we can, yeah, these are like teasers for where we're going, I think, with some of our...
Oh, that's true, yeah. That's true.
These are...
All right.
We're not going to jump the shark here.
I don't like how we say an NHI now all the time.
Yeah.
And UAP. I don't like how they just change all the words overnight. I think it's weird. Anyway, I feel like there's pronouns I'm respecting for, like, the aliens. And that freaks me out. It makes me feel like they have a say in this. Because why are we changing all the words out of nowhere?
It could...
Unless they prefer it.
Well, it could just be a consequence of, like... We're learning more about it, so the old terms no longer apply.
Right. Extraterrestrial. I think it all goes back to we know they're not from space. Because UFO is flying object. UAP is aerial phenomenon.
Yeah.
And then ET is extraterrestrial, which means they come from another planet. And NHI just means non-human. A dolphin is NHI. Anyway.
I've heard another, like, for the extraterrestrial, it gets into, like, the big Earth theory or the ice wall theory, where there are lands on Earth. It's not flat Earth, it's, like, giant Earth.
Big Earth.
Yeah. But, like, there are lands outside of the ice wall, and we've been, like, contained to protect us from these things.
Right.
And that's where these come from. Anyway. And also, part of me thinks it's to obfuscate or, like, obscure research. You can't...
It's harder to Google things.
Yeah. If you're, like, looking for multiple terms that describe the same phenomenon. Anyway. This is kind of along that same line here, but...
There are rumors that have come up to the Hill of a secretive project within the Department of Defense involving the manipulation of human genetics with what is described as non-human genetic material, potentially for the enhancement of human capabilities, hybrids. With Immaculate Constellation, how does this relate to UAP activities, Mr. Schellenberg, in oceanic environments? Are there any instances where the Navy or other maritime forces have encountered UAPs that could not be explained by known technology or natural phenomena?
Yeah, the Immaculate Constellation covers both terrestrial and oceanic, and there's actually a number of cases described in the report that occur in the ocean.
And do you believe that there is a concerted effort by the Pentagon to keep Congress out of the loop regarding these UAP activities, specifically in our waters?
Yes.
Are there any accounts of UAPs emerging from or submerging into our water, which could indicate a base or presence beneath the ocean's surface?
I don't know about a base, but as I mentioned, I had a different source entirely describe this pretty extraordinary footage that exists of orbs, of an orb coming out of the ocean and being met by another orb.
Well, it doesn't really. I know Congress people try. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know Congress people. This is a pet peeve of mine with things like this. And any kind of Congress hearing, not just UFOs, they try to beat down the witnesses sometimes with so much information.
This guy seems to handle it pretty well.
She didn't seem to be doing that. She let him speak. Okay, that's one. Two, why didn't he mention or say anything or deny the hybrids?
Yeah,
he just completely ignored that.
Well, it was also how she asked the question too. She says that, and then this project was also dealing with something else. So I don't know. Maybe because there are I don't know. I don't know the
Immaculate Constellation. I believe is the recovery program.
Okay.
But
she says they're taking that organic material and using it to make hybrid human beings. Maybe that can be talked about, but not explicitly, because there's closed door hearings in Congress too, right? So
yeah, they got their skiffs and oh yeah, so he might bring up stuff there.
Yeah, but she wants it to be mentioned in the public record.
Right. But he can't. He could just ignore it. He's not at liberty to.
So I don't know.
Oh.
I thought that was interesting, the way that clip played out, and also the clip itself, with the information.
Yes, dude, they're from under the water. We keep seeing it.
Yeah, I always talk about the movie The Abyss. That movie blew my mind. I saw it in high school, and I was kind of terrified.
Bro. I sent you something last night, but if it's not in this show, we're going to go down a rabbit hole on eventually.
Okay.
That's a good one. I kind of want to go watch that entire thing now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so there is you see the kind of theme here that there's a cloning theme.
Yes.
And then this
cloning, hybrids, captured bodies. So far, I got a big genetic research theme.
Yeah. This was where another part of it.
The man at a ceremony.
Yeah.
In front of you?
Yeah, in front of all of us. He started screaming when they began to cut. But after a while, he died. I'd seen a few killings before then.
Let me get this right now. Are you saying that you saw more than one person killed in that house?
Yeah. I've seen loads of babies killed there. Just newborn babies. Or aborted ones, which were only small. 4-year-olds. Any age, really.
What little girl?
My little girl, Alex. She's about 4 now.
You mean you had a child?
Yeah.
How old were you when you had that child?
11.
Motherhood at the age of 11. But from what Teresa told her mother, it wasn't the only pregnancy.
What would happen to the fetuses, the unborn babies?
I used to be taken away most of the time, and one time baby was taken out of me and then killed in front of me. But we were also made to eat it.
You were made to eat your own fetus?
Yeah.
How did they get rid of the bodies?
They had a tub, pretty big, I don't know. A very big tub, and they used to put the bodies and bones in there. and it used to go like, fizzy in it.
Whoa. Teresa, an alleged victim and witness of satanic ritual abuse in England in the early 90s. Her story was featured on the TV program The Cook Report. Teresa claimed as a child she was forced to participate in satanic rituals. Took place in a house where the rituals were conducted by a secretive cult. Her story was part of a larger Satanic Panic era, which led to widespread fear. So, I believe, actually, I used to think, Satanic Panic. I think that shit's real.
Yeah. I think Satanic Panic was the psyop. Kind of like obscuring people's, like, inquiry into that by making it, Iron Maiden is making people satanic. No.
Right.
There are satanic cults who are doing this. And then the panic is that everything is satanic. So, like, it gets, like, just covered in this veil, this fog. The fog of war, let's call it. I've read and seen too much of this stuff to not believe. And, like, one story is enough to be like, well, we should kind of question everything that openly claims to be satanic.
Yes.
You should ask some questions.
Well, people are disappearing. Keep going.
That's it.
People be disappearing, people be trafficked, people be for sale.
It is a very, very bitter and jagged pill to swallow.
Google truck full of bodies, and you just find years worth of stories about people finding trucks full of bodies.
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos of like people who work in a shipping yard, and they like go up this conveyor or whatever, and then they just hear screams.
And some of this, like, okay, let's say she didn't exactly witness those exact things. She could be part of like an MK Ultra type, you know what I mean, where they do terrible things, but she's also like on drugs or something, like, right. Where is this house? Who's keeping her there? I would assume they would have done their research about like who's this person's parents, where's she from, you know what I mean? Like, wow.
And then the thing is like, sorry, I keep leaving this one up, but
oh, that's okay.
I'm going to find another one. Yeah, I'm gonna show you this, and then
we're piecing it all together.
Yeah.
I did like in one place, then they move to other place, then they move to other place. There's just
okay. So I go into the church now.
Yes, and they hide. Usually they hide in the houses. Because they have parties in their houses. It's the same. Looks this, like I said, the wardrobe, that kind of stuff. That's the same. So they've got this stairs downstairs. Yes.
Okay. So if I went to your dad's house, get to your dad's house. What colour's door's his?
Yeah, his one is kind of lightish brown.
So he's got a lightish brown door.
Yes.
So go in there.
Yes.
Where's this wardrobe?
In the living room, as I said, a bit like Mr. Hollings's.
So go to the living room, and what does this wardrobe look like?
It's not like Mr. Hollings's, but similar. It's long.
Okay, so go to the wardrobe.
Yes.
And how do I get through the secret door? How do I get into the secret door?
Yeah, they got keys. They got keys to the door because Mr. Morris, my father, Papa.
How could I tell there's a door there? So I go to the wardrobe.
Yes.
How would I know that it's not just the back of a wardrobe and it's a door? How could I tell? What's different about it?
There's no difference. There's no difference.
Where'd you put the key then? I don't
know. No. There's no key to go in a wardrobe. Yeah. There's no key.
Right, sorry.
But when you go down the stairs into the secret room, underground, they got the room in there. They got the keys to it.
Okay.
Mr. Morris Papa, Mrs. Forsyth, Mr. Hollings, they got like big bunches of keys. Big clothes,
Right.
yes.
So I get all the clothes out of the way.
Yes.
Then what do I find?
And then after you find it looks like just like a normal wardrobe
Yeah.
wall because it's camouflaged and it makes sure you can't see it.
Yes. So
But
how do I
actually
find the
there is
door?
Because it's just right in the middle. So this is the wardrobe.
Would I be able to see
So
like
this-
the gap or not?
No, it's like camouflage. So like, imagine this was like red, and then imagine this was like this is the same color.
Would I be able to move the wardrobe out of the way and find a hole in the wall? Would I or not?
No. That's
Why not?
no, because you have to. The door is attached to the wall,
Right.
and it got stairs going down.
So if I move the wardrobe,
Yes.
would I see the door?
Yes,
Okay.
but then if I did it like in one place, then they move to other place, then they move to other place. There's just
Okay, so
I've actually watched a bunch of this interview. I can't remember all the details, but again, England. What was the place the other day we were talking about that was like the seat of magical events and?
I think it was North Suffolk.
Suffolk, yep. And I don't know if this is there, but like they've been doing druidic shit there since the Druids. She's implying that there is a secret door to an underground room in a house, and that these houses are all connected in a tunnel system.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that's come up in the Diddy cases, that all these houses have been connected
and
through underground.
And that cave you tried to go into.
And there's a cave that maybe we'll do a documentary about. You'll be my life support, and I'll tie a rope around my waist, and if you feel the rope being pulled, just run away.
Okay.
Just immediately.
If I ask for help, just abandon me.
Just know that I'm probably getting dragged into the abyss.
So you watched a lot of interviews with her?
I remember watching I tried to watch the whole thing, and she's like so kind of frantic. And the Daisy, come here, baby.
Well, so is this a cop she's talking to, or a psychologist?
It's a detective, and he's doing a great job of like keeping her
calm and shit.
Yeah, and like getting the information out of her. So I don't know the implication.
Did I send this to you?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
Like
I was like, why is my name on? Wow. All right, so we do have a theme.
People are going missing.
All right.
There are probably. The thing is, like, it ends up being, it's not some guy who has to work overtime every week. These are people who are like well-to-do.
Yeah, they got time on their hands.
They have
money.
They have time, money, influence, connections. Those are the people with the fucking ability to do. No one punches out of a 14-hour shift at the factory and then goes and does this.
No.
That their mind is not on those. I don't know. Again, the missing 411 shit. Disregard any weirdness about those cases. Just the fact that there are like 100,000 people a year.
There's so many missing people, dude.
Just go missing. Just no explanation for where they are.
I mean, that's in this country.
That is in this country.
You think about other places.
Think about third world countries where there's not even good records of people.
Yeah. And I don't even... Did they even count you as missing if, like, you go missing during, like, a fire or a hurricane? Or do they count you as, like, dead?
Probably dead. And that leads us to this video, finally.
Wait, how many videos did you have total?
Because
we've only done 5.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3.
So if you have a grand finale,
8.
then you
not this.
2 more, 1 more, 2 more.
2 more, and then the finale.
Okay.
So.
Oh, this is okay.
In hazmat suits as part of a multi-state investigation into the illegal trafficking. A torso with a head apparently went for $2,400. A leg about $1,100. They'd even sell knees and feet alone for under $500. And sale of human body parts. He said he found a cooler filled with male genitalia, a bucket of heads, arms, and legs, infected heads, and one of the most disturbing findings called a morbid joke in the lawsuit, a small woman's head sewn onto a large male torso like Frankenstein and hung up on the wall, with no identification tags on the bodies. Were treated with dignity and respect, a promise written on their own consent forms. The company also accused of selling body parts for profit after saying they'd only raid, and what he recounts.
A secret shielded by cardboard and silence. When the FBI raided the Biological Resource Center in East Phoenix 5 years ago, while in the fall, the company collected bodies of people who died under the gun.
The FBI.
So this is obviously a private company.
Yep. They were doing some type of research, allegedly.
Bro.
And they were taking, like, people who had donated their bodies to science, I think.
Oh my God. This is apparently somewhat so common that this isn't the only... I'm getting all this stuff about the Harvard morgue.
Oh, I remember that.
NBC Harvard morgue scandal is part of a much larger history of trading human bodies.
Man, Harvard is up to some real stinky shit.
An error. This is a 27. It's from Reuters. I don't know however you want to say it.
Reuters.
A business where human bodies were butchered, packaged, and sold. An Arizona-based biological resource center persuaded dying Americans to donate their bodies to science. More than 5,000 did. They were just like doing weird shit with... Dude, the thing about putting someone else's head on someone else's body and putting it on the wall... What? You tell me this isn't satanic. How could you go to work every day and you and all the people around you are like, how the fuck are you not all like... How did the type of people who would do that all find each other and end up in the same place? Like, nobody walked in for years on end and was like, that's fucked up, I'm calling the cops, you know what I mean? Where do you find... There has to be some vetting process or...
Yeah, the janitor is just like, I don't know, man, I just work here.
Somebody... Oh my gosh.
Who needs all those male genitalia? They had a cooler full of male genitalia. Who needs these body parts? So this is like, you could almost, I hate the bad apple argument. Oh, it's just one bad apple. Like you could.
It can't be.
I mean, you could make a bad apple argument about this, that it just was something that one person, cult of personality type, was doing this and just got other people around him and it got out of control. But...
Oh my God. Keep going.
Well, that's just because of the way the bodies were acquired, I think. That they had to go through... They would have been in a hospital.
You gotta get people to sign them.
There would have been documentation, and there would been like some kind of paper trail and other witnesses to get them at least to their front door. So that it wasn't like, but
for raw material, the industry relies in large part on people too poor to afford funerals, offering to cremate a portion of your body for free.
We could only afford the left side.
That's what they're doing. The operation can resemble meatpacking plants. They teach college students how to dismember cadavers in the company lab.
Okay, that makes sense.
He stars in a grisly training video demonstrating how to carve out a man's spine using a motorized saw. This is crazy.
What was the company called?
BRC. Let's see. Damn, dude.
The other thing is like, okay, going like, that was my first thought. The bad apple argument. Just some guy went cuckoo, went too far, started doing weird shit. Maybe he did have a legitimate type of business in the beginning.
Who was that guy, Gosner? He was an abortionist, but he kept like all the babies.
Ugh.
Do you remember that?
I do not remember that.
Oh, that's exactly like this. Okay, keep going.
But, well, this guy is also like, it's like the character in John Wick. Whenever he makes a mess, he calls this guy, and the guy is a cleaner, and they trade in these, you know. This guy is like a character like that in a network of people. You could send a body to him, and he could easily cremate it, turn it into a bunch of different parts, sell it for you. He has a legitimate business, but could easily dispose of a body for you. Just get it lost in the system, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's literally lost. This says they found...
The other thing is that the teenage woman from that first clip we showed about, she was talking about a vat of acid, essentially, like hydrochloric acid.
Which she didn't know how to say it. She was just like, oh, it fizzes.
Yeah.
The agents discovered 10 tons of human remains. 1,755 total body parts, 281 heads, 241 shoulders, 337 legs, 97 spines. One bag held remains from 36 different people. Get this, though. The raid on BRC was part of a broader federal probe into the suspected practices of one of its clients, Arthur Rathburn, a Detroit body broker. Rathburn has pleaded not guilty to charges of defrauding customers. During a 2013 search of Rathburn's warehouse, federal agents found rotting body parts along with 4 preserved fetuses. Confidential photographs reviewed by Reuters show it is not clear how Rathburn acquired them or what he planned to do with them. He was indicted for selling diseased body parts without warning buyers. This guy makes his living selling... Oh no.
My official stance.
If they have bags full of feet, there's no way they're keeping records of who the fuck these people are. Not good ones. Sorry, keep going. You could launder. Oh no, you could money. Okay. You could launder body parts.
Throw it in the foot bag.
You throw, okay, literally, say you kill somebody. What was the deal with the fetuses? Remember that girl who said they took her babies? It said they didn't know how he even got them. So there's no records of how, there's not records on these people. Then you got a foot bag with 36 feet, but then you could just be like, oh yeah, I sent 6 feet. You could just like cook the books on where you send the feet. Mm-hmm. Oh, and everything's contaminated. Mm-hmm. The authorities could never prove any individual. Oh my God, dude. That's it. Okay, whatever. I can't believe this is a thing.
This is happening.
Well, I am no longer an organ donor.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude.
This is a little palate cleanse. Okay. Still in in the realm, but
I'm going to take you back in time to show you what the ancient Egyptians did here in New Jersey. This is Barnegat Bay. This is LBI, that I believe that was originally created by the Giants, because there's all kinds of islands and face figures, because that's what they did. And that's what we have here. This is supposed to be a face here. You see that? And then when you see what's here, you see these lines, okay? Wait till you see what's on the other side of the river here. These are all ancient scripts. You see the little lines, the little dots. It's really amazing what's here. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to go on the other side of this really snaky river. And then here is the Egyptian script. That's what they did, these ancient giants. They put their script. Look at the symbol systems, okay? This isn't from any cranberry bogs or any, because they set this park aside. They set these parks aside for this all to be found. Look at all these symbols. This is what they did in the swampland. And then this is supposed to be the giant's brain, like there's his face, 2 eyes, his nose, okay? And then his brain is full of look at the brain. The brain is full of the symbol systems of the knowledge that they left behind for us. And then this symbol system continues all the way up through this whole area. You can see how they were working their symbol system, and it ended. Right? They made the lines, but they never completed the symbols, or they might have started a few, but...
Whoa. I was like, okay, this guy but when it shows where it ends, that means it's not a natural formation. I was like, maybe it's a swampland.
It has lines on it like paper.
Yeah, and maybe they've done that to like irrigate for flooding, but the formations were within the lines, and then the symbols, and then the formations stop. That was so weird to me. Because it doesn't look like it has an agricultural function, or it would be more uniform. The shape of the symbols. And if you just go look up hieroglyphs, then there are... What's that type of writing with the lines and you like tap the nail? It's not Sanskrit, is it?
Do you tap a nail? Are you talking about where they like in the clay?
In the clay,
like
but that's how they did it. It was just a nail, and you just tap it into the clay at different angles.
Yeah, I think it's cuneiform.
Okay. Yeah, I just can't remember what it was called.
Like the Sumerians and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But this is all like undeveloped. It's like blocked off as probably a national park or a state park.
We'll have to look more into that. Because he implied that it was Egyptian writing. Does that mean that somebody who knows Egyptian could like decipher that?
I don't know. The Egyptian thing I kind of wrote off.
Maybe he just meant hieroglyphs in general.
Yes, it didn't seem like.
I wonder if anyone's ever like taken the images and like tried to decode it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or can you even make out like letters that are similar?
I mean, if you're trying to solve a cipher, you only need like. It's harder the less symbols you have, but like once you have like 4 or 5 key letters, you can figure out a whole coded.
Right.
I don't know.
Dude.
So I guess we should start studying Egyptian hieroglyphs so we can figure this out.
Exactly. So your big finale.
A big finale. This is an aerial phenomenon. I think it's pretty recent. In the last few years in North Carolina.
In Little River, South Carolina. They're moving. I'm out here doing DoorDash. Do you see that? I mean, I thought they might have been like towers or something, but do you see how they're moving in formation? Let me scroll out. That's fucking weird. I mean, I know we're supposed to be delivering this DoorDash order, but one just disappeared. What the fuck is that? Oh wow, that's weird. It's weird. What the?
She's like oddly calm.
It's probably fucking high, dude.
That's like some fucking like end of the world type shit. What is...
The caption was like, entire mansion appears in the sky. So when I clicked on it, I thought it was going to be like an apparition type thing where it was like fog that
looks like a castle or something.
Yeah, but that was not what I was expecting.
Yeah. Bruh.
I've also never seen anything similar.
No.
Because it didn't feel like a drone. It seemed like kind of organic. Nothing is exactly symmetrical or in perfect alignment. There's
looks
kind of a
gigantic.
shape to it. Yeah, it looks huge. The way it moves and like...
In the beginning, I didn't catch it. But this makes me feel like this is real. You can see another person filming it on their camera.
Yeah.
And you can see the fucking light of the thing on the camera. See that?
Yeah. On the side of the phone reflecting.
Well, the first I was like, is this just like straight up CGI? But like you can like just off to the side, you see another person holding up their iPhone and you can see the fucking blue light reflecting going up the freaking... That's a very interesting detail if you faked this. What is that?
And then the light like above the cloud.
It's like a highway. That's what it made me think of.
Yeah.
It also made me think of some of those jellyfish. I want to know like what out like because it looks like
it looks stationary too because you can see the clouds moving around it.
I mean, like, okay, so if I were to hoax this, I would go climb on top of a suspension bridge and do some weird photography of cars driving and, like, fuck with its lights and speed it up. And, that is... Oh... I don't even know what to say about that. Maybe that's why she's so calm, because it's so bizarre.
It's not full. It's not even digestible in the moment.
Right. It's not even like if you saw like a classic saucer or something, you might be like, "Holy shit, the aliens are!" But this is so fucking weird. How do you even process it? Dude, I was gonna think this might be Cap till I saw that phone thing. There's a group of people.
I like how she's like, do you see that?
I know. She kept saying, she's very concerned about her DoorDash.
I know.
She's like, I'm supposed to be delivering this DoorDash.
Hopefully she shows the person, like, sorry, I'm late. And just shows them the video and they're like...
A rift to the nether world opened in front of me. I'm sorry your fucking chicken nuggets are closed. Or cold. Well, great, amazing job. Dude, you really, for the last Mailbag Thursday, you really gave me a treat. Because I love the UFO stuff the most.
Yeah.
I love human trafficking.
Sure. Talk about it all the time. A passion project.
Don't go in the basement. No, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good, interesting stuff.
The human trafficking thing is something I want to explore. And like the 411 stuff, he's done like so much work on that, but it's all focused on the anomalous natures of the individual disappearances.
Right.
And I haven't read his books, but he doesn't talk about the implications of that many. Like, obviously, he's thought about it as a detective, but he doesn't really comment in like any of the documentaries about the implication of what that means.
And he seems to go down, in some of the interviews I've heard of him, he seems to be way more down the road of like he has 411, the Bigfoot connection, 411, like the UFO, like.
Yes.
He seems to be way more like this is like a supernatural.
Well, and yeah, and I think that he also knows that is safer to say.
That's a good,
because the kookiness of it kind of shields you from any danger. If it were another group, or let's say one very busy guy doing this for things like rituals, you would put yourself in danger if you said, "Oh, I think it's this group of people."
Oh, you want to know a random fact?
Like, here's the body disappearing and dissolving in acid factory. I think it's this group of people.
You do not want to say that.
You're gonna get to see the inside of the body disappearing and dissolving factory.
I feel like I always gotta make stuff weirder. You know that there are numerous UFO accounts where the handler shows people how they eat, and there's like vats of like melting human body parts, and they like sit in them. Of like cow and human parts and blood, and like they absorb it through their. But remember our shit last week about like MK Ultra, and we can never say that right because of the name MK Ultra. Like you get somebody in a human trafficking, body part selling, satanic thing and put them on super LSD and tell them you're an alien, and then they see a bunch of this horrendous, hellish scene of human body parts.
You see
what I'm saying?
You see a 250-pound man with a little woman's head on it, and you're like,
oh, that's a genetic experiment.
Yeah.
People are so evil. I do.
That's the like obviously people have commented on human nature since the beginning of time, but like that is, to me, that's a harder pill to swallow than aliens, is the extent of human evil.
I could see that.
First, you have to admit it, that humans are capable of this.
Oh, yeah. And it almost is more dire. Oh, great.
Well,
it's almost a more dire place to be in.
I think we were given a sign.
Well, because if it's all humans, an alien you can like negotiate with, theoretically, trade with,
right,
defeat in a war, I guess, like Independence Day or some shit. If it's just people, then you're kind of just trapped on this rock with like the most evil thing imaginable, and there's nowhere to go and no one to save you.
You have to perpetuate the survival of the species, and the tax is you get people who run body part dissolving factories.
Why was it just this light? That was weird. Here's the second thing. Oh, I hate that. Here's the other thing. Remember how I mentioned a few weeks ago how David Paulides talked about a few rare cases where they discovered GHB?
Yes.
Okay.
And didn't you also say that it's like we produce our own?
A small amount in our brains. Well, he was thinking maybe the aliens have a way to like make you produce.
Yes.
But it could also just be somebody drugging you. You know what I mean? So it's a long way to go, but this is a random, I don't remember how I did this. I was Wikipedia surfing, going down, blah, 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 blah. You know, one of the ways that, I was reading about human sacrifice. One of the ways the Incans sacrificed children, and probably some adults too, is they would drug them, they'd get them like drunk, or whatever their equivalent was, whatever thing they fucking used. And then
that's where they like ayahuasca and stuff is from the South American. So they probably had some concoction of plants that they brewed or fermented or, ground up the bark from.
One thing I read was drugs were involved in a lot of that stuff. Probably, to ease the pain, but also maybe because it opens up realms. But one of the ways they do it is they would just freaking leave a kid out in the middle of nowhere inebriated. And that was the ritual. So you'd be like, you would literally you drug the kid, then you let them just die of like hypothermia in the mountains, which is like a 411. You find somebody died of hypothermia, but it's somebody folded up their clothes, but then when the rare times you test their body, they're on a date rape drug. So apparently there is historical precedent for that being part of like a human sacrifice ritual. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay. Have you ever seen the movie The Cabin in the Woods?
No.
Okay. It's a... You don't necessarily like horror movies, but it is a great horror movie. The first part is kind of corny. There is like 5 stereotypical, like archetypal high school kids or college kids, and they're going on this trip, and they go to the cabin in the woods. They rented this cabin. I want to say it's in Virginia or West Virginia. I can't remember where the setting is. They go to this cabin, they get there, and then there's like a monster, like a zombie or a ghoul, and they're like, it's like a corny horror movie, but then they somehow end up in this underground facility, and it's literally just like a bureaucratic, these guys in lab coats. It is for the purpose of human sacrifice to what they call the old ones.
Yeah.
And if they do not sacrifice on a certain time, certain archetypes of people, the old gods return. And the Incan thing made me think of that, because like maybe they...
Well, all those sacrifices were appease gods, yeah.
Yes, demons. And then the fast forward to the 411 stuff, maybe they give someone a bunch of drugs and let them, that's the type of sacrifice this god would want. So they're appeasing that god, and if they don't, they come and take it. And and then like the negotiations supposedly that happened with the alien, the trade for technology.
It was about taking people.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't bring that up in our... We're going to do a lot more stuff about this that's more methodical.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That is identical. You can abduct people... If you give us things, that is identical to like human sacrifice, like
to appeasing a god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm out of coffee.
That's just what people do. All right. Well, that's an amazing show. Full hour, baby.
Maybe it is just what people do.
I've wondered that before. I wondered if, like, you know how, like, the queen ant is the ant that has the certain pheromone, and it, like, I've wondered if, like, human beings aren't, like, a big ant hive, and, like, the fucking psychic vampire, sociopath, narcissist people are just always going to rule the world because
they're willing.
That's what we are as a hive.
Well, yeah.
There's no other way that, yeah, sorry.
Good people would not do that, but then...
And you can always beat them back, but you can never stop it from occurring.
Because you do not possess that level of willingness to... You can't say, oh, I'm going to get that power through human sacrifice and then use it for good. Like, you've already lost as soon as, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, it's game over. Well, you know what's weird too?
Call your mothers.
Save it. Yeah,
Tell her
we'll
you
save
love
it
her.
for our. We'll save it for our future content. But holy shit! All right, great job. You scared me. Thanks.
Of course. My pleasure.
Tune in tomorrow for Tinfoil Friday.
Yep. Peace.